Why are conservative Americans pro-Russia? I live in the Midwest USA and work with people who watch only Fox News, right-wing media. They are really mad about how much money we're sending to Ukraine with no strings attached. I'm assuming this narrative is being pushed by Fox. When I asked them if they were upset about the trillions of dollars we spent in Afghanistan and Iraq, they didn't want to talk about it anymore. Lol. As a conservative, I'm struggling to figure that out as well. The biggest feedback I've received is that they don't want to fund Ukraine. I've explained to them the massive increase in cost we would be faced with down the road had we not supported Ukraine and they were conquered. Another one of my rebuttals has been, what exactly do you want to spend tax money on? They claim to be pro-American, putting America first, but they don't want to spend money on infrastructure. They don't want to spend money on health or education. They don't want to spend money on welfare programs. They don't want to spend money on foreign wars. So what exactly do you want this money to be spent on? Because liberals support Ukraine and are against Russia. Their party stance is literally anything that's anti-liberal. I am Russian. Family originated in Ukraine. And it often hurts reading or hearing pro-Russian when what is actually meant is pro-Putin. Myself, just like many other Russian citizens, do not support the Gov's decisions. Yet it doesn't mean that we hate our country. We just hate the way it's governed. Please be mindful of that. Putin is not Russia and Russia is not Putin. It's a long shot and just a remark. I hope it goes across. It's in combination of at least two things. One was Trump's bizarre and inexplicable relationship with Putin. Does anyone remember when he freaked out because he missed a call from Putin but no one knew what it was about? People seem to have no issue with the demonstrated fact Russia interfered with our election and got Trump in office. The second is the rhetoric about sending money to Ukraine. Republicans hate literally any type of government spending regardless of context. So to spin disdain for it, outlets like Fox News will constantly walk the razor-thin line of being anti-money to Ukraine and Russia isn't so bad stories. Uneducated Midwest conservatives interpret this as being pro-Russia and act accordingly. Only the stupid ones who are blinded by their opposition to Biden will cheer for anything that is opposite of Biden. Plus the trumpets. Because Trump had a Putin boner in hopes of building more hotels in Moscow. But those trumpets are a whole different level of idiot. True conservatives and smart right-wingers realize that Russia has always been a threat to the US and its interests around the world. The same thing that Reagan understood when he broke the USSR back in the 1980s. So taking advantage of Russia's blunder, their terribly failed invasion of Ukraine by funding and supplying Ukraine as they grind down Russia's military is the smart move to weaken Russia economically, militarily, and greatly reduce their influence in the world for decades to come. I don't know any conservatives who like Russia and what they're doing in Ukraine. They're pretty happy about the mauling Russia is getting. Yay. I live in Dallas, and there are multiple instances of people putting the Z on their vehicles. Other parts of the country as well. That's what prompted this post. I'm sure a quick dive in Reddit will give you some examples. A lot of anti-government conspiracy theories are definitely funded by Russia. I am quite certain that QAnon is Russia created and run too. Especially since they try to paint Russia as the good guy. Never heard of this one. Most the people at my work are laughing at Russia and talk about its people being treated so poorly by Putin. Not all of them are. Just the smooth brains who do anything to own the libs, instead of siding with the libs whenever the libs have a good idea. Because they're too stupid to have an opinion of their own. Conservative Americans have conservative media think for them. Conservative media has money funneled to it from pro-Russia groups. Like, didn't the NRA get caught laundering money from Russia? Before Ukraine, Putin's Russia was seen as something of a conservative ideal state where the government leveraged its power in protectionistic economic policies while also strong-arming their sphere of influence. On top of that, Russia is also seen as deeply religious, protective of their religion, and very adverse to liberal, and recently woke cultural movements. The idea that Russia was something of a powerful yet personal unintrusive state was shattered somewhat when Russia decided to play land grabs. And it turned out Putin was a garden-variety autocrat. The GOP has turned into anti-liberal. They get led around by the collar by idiots they've deigned heroes. Traitors to the Republic. Simple as pie. Because Putin's regime brand themselves as sort of the last bastion of Christianity, traditionalism, yada yada yada, and a lot of the conservative crowd eat that up. It's the MAGA Republicans that are pro-Putin, not pro-Russia, since even Putin is not pro-Russia. And why? Because the Führer president like Putin, so they esteem him as well. Regular conservative people remember the Cold War and know that Russia is not our friend even when relations are more friendly. In a few cases I suspect it to be just to disagree with the libs. The ones I know are not pro-Russia but are upset about all the money being spent and upset about being in a proxy war. Not pro-Russia, just mad about the war.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.